Did you know it's very easy to spoof your email address and pretend that I'm you sending somebody you know an email? What does spoof mean? It's when you impersonate somebody else's email address or website. Did you also know that all emails since the beginning of time on the internet are being sent completely in plain text throughout all the servers and are actually readable by anybody who has access to these servers, and they even archive the data for various amounts of time so even local authorities and federal authorities can go through it after? Do you want to stop that? I'll show you how. Email, like the rest of the internet, was created many years ago with a very particular history. For those who don't know, the first web browsers did not even include encryption because the United States still considered encryption a weapon of war. So, for the longest time in history, encryption did not even exist for the internet, for websites, for banks, even email, because certain militaries, aka the American military, actually deemed this a weapon, a very actual hazardous weapon, but they still deemed it a weapon. So what did this actually cause? Well, this caused today's problem to still exist. Emails, get this, are sent out in the clear, plain text, and completely accessible to anybody who has access to the servers these messages are passing through simultaneously. I know a bunch of you are going to say that emails and all messages and all information sent out in bits and pieces all over the internet, but you just never know. I mean, if the whole email goes through exactly the same gateway, which is actually potentially possible since emails are not actually that big in size the majority of the time, it means that the person can collect enough parts of the information to actually know at least the gist, if not the whole message. So, this does cause a sensitive privacy issue for your emails. Now, for the majority of the time, okay, there's no problem. The sheer amount of volume of emails on the internet protects you because it's being hidden completely in plain sight. But that's not encryption, and that's not safe at all. So, how about we get to the next problem? Like I said, spoofing, or the impersonation of somebody. This is done with websites and email. Get this, you can have people sending out email pretending to be you, trying to convince other people that your accounts have been changed, your passwords have been changed, or you're changing your email address. How do you prevent all this from ever occurring ever again? Now, some are going to say upgrade the internet, but don't think about it, because I know exactly what's going to happen if you do this. Somewhere, somehow, somebody's going to try to use a clause like the Patriot Act in the United States or some sort of terrorism prevention tool to try to intimidate ISPs and other email services into giving them a backdoor key to access your information. And, as usual, this means there's a human element, and all encryption is vulnerable to the human element. So at one point, somebody might actually be threatening to giving this backdoor key to some ill-willed group of bad guys, which will compromise your email. How do you solve this? Well, someone would say, don't create the backdoor in the first place, but the government would be like, no. They're going to say the potential of wealth of information used to prevent terrorism will outweigh the risks of somebody getting threatened to giving the key. I say bullshit. How about we give you the other way around this? Prevent any of these federales, locals, and people trying to use their power against you to try to deem some law into a progression that would allow them to view your information, keeping all your information still in the public domain, still easily readable by anybody who has the backdoor key. Encrypt your email and sign your email. These are two things you need to do. First, you need to sign, because unless you actually know what I'm talking about, you know that in order for somebody to send you an email that's encrypted, they need to have your digital signature. So what do? First things first, somebody has to get a digital signature. So what you do is you go to the website I'm going to send you. The website's primary address is komodo.com. The actual full link is at zedaxis.net, zedaxis.net. It's in the show notes, and there is a notebook icon on the left of each of these pages that will bring you straight to this show notes this week, so you can get to the link. There's a link to register for an email digital certificate, and there's one for a revocation link so that you can revocate it and get a new one after. Make sure you bookmark both these pages because they're going to be really useful for the next few things. One, you will now register for one. You will follow the instructions they give you to install it. Then you will use an email client, not a web-based client, because it won't work with a web-based client, but it will work with 99% of all email clients. What am I talking about? Thunderbird, Windows Live, the email client, and Outlook. These are three very common, probably all three installed in your system right now if you're on Windows. Anybody using accounts on or mail software on Macintosh and in Linux are also perfectly capable of having these services. And in the most part, those that are using Linux kernels can actually generate their own email certificates as well. So you wouldn't have to go through this website either. You'd be able to create your own. So what do? Write an email, say this is my digital certificate. From now on, if this digital certificate is not with the email, it is not me sending it. So, note to all friends, families, and foes, if this message is not with this signature, this is not me. So, stage 2, now in progression. Person replies after getting their own email certificate, which I suggest you put the link in into your email. They reply with their own digital signature and reply with an encrypted message. From now on, you both reply and send emails encrypted to each other that all contain super secret information like, are you going to the party tonight? And nobody knows what the hell you're writing because it's completely and utterly encrypted. This means no overmassive redone system with bunch of holes because people wanted backdoor keys that people can threaten, blackmail for, so that bad guys and ill-gotten groups actually get all your information. No. Now, your responsibility, your ability to control the information, your ability to revoke the certificate and get a new one. Since it is your responsibility, and you do have to protect yourself, this is the only thing you need to do. Get yourself a free email certificate, and then get all your friends and families and foes to get it too, and then you'll be completely fine. Next week, I'll be getting you free SSL for your website. Limited time offer, but the link, I'm not giving it this week. The link will be coming next week, where I will blast it on the screen this time so that everybody can see it. And if you have a website that has user accounts, not all websites do, but those who have user accounts, you'll actually be able to encrypt the session so that nobody can see it, even with Firesheep and Open Wi-Fi. So until next week, subscribe to the show. Have a great day. Stay safe and online. This has been your Technology Questions Answered. The web address, www.zedaxis.net. Have a great day. Bye.